Hello, friends, and welcome to today's practice called Evening Vibe. This practice is going to stay close to the earth. It's going to be very soothing, calming, grounding, and it's going to be a great transition into a deeper state of relaxation, which can help you to get a more restful night of sleep. So, our last pose of the practice will be a supported pose using a bolster. So a big bolster, a big pillow. I can also give you an option to do the pose without the bolster or the pillow as well. If you have a yoga strap, you might just want to catch hold of that, set it out to the side. Your blocks can just go off the front short side or out to the side for right now. And we're going to start by coming down to the belly. Now you can take your blanket, folded blanket, just right across the center of the mat. This can provide some cushion to the hip points as you come forward, as well as for the knees when we do some movements from table. You're going to come to stack your hands. You're going to rest your forehead onto your stacked hands. And as you get settled in here, you can take a bit of movement. Maybe sway your hips from side to side. You might also bend your knees so that your heels come in toward the buttocks and take a sway of the lower legs from right to left. Another movement that I often like to take from this position is just a circular motion with the lower legs. So as you go out to the right, and start to circle the feet down toward the mat and then swing the lower legs to the left and then draw your heels toward the buttocks and just take that circular motion a couple times this way. As your heels start to draw in toward the buttocks this next time, pause and then reverse. Go out to the left, down to the mat, out to the right, heels toward the buttocks. Another time or two that way. Right, and then as you feel ready, tops of the feet can meet the mat. Soften your eyes or maybe even close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And then exhale, just a real soft sigh out through the mouth if you like, just creating a little soft sound at the back of the throat as you softly sigh the breath out. Taking 1 to 2 more cycles of breath here. Okay, we're going to slide the hands underneath of the low chest. We're going to use the press of the hands down to the mat to lift the hips up. We're going to come into wide knee child's pose. So adjust the body so you can step the knees forward so the knees are on the blanket. Take the big toes closer, touching. Take your knees a little wider than the frontal hip bones. And then start to move the pelvis back toward the heels. And you might even just rock in and out of that a couple times so you can breathe in and just lift the pelvis away from the heels. Exhale, rock the pelvis back. Maybe one more time. Take a breath in, lift the pelvis. And then exhale, settle the pelvis toward the heels. So now here you can again stack your hands or your fist if you like. Create a gentle pillow for the forehead. Sink and settle. Soften your gaze or maybe gently close your eyes. As you feel the forehead space resting either on the mat or connected to your hands, you can do some guided imagery with the breath. So as you inhale, feel the breath draw equally in through the nostrils and draw the breath up to the center of the forehead. And as you exhale, feel as though you're breathing from the center forehead back out equally through both sides of the nose. Inhale through the nose, drawing the breath up to the center of the forehead. Exhale from the center forehead, down and out. Take another breath or two here. Okay, after this next exhalation, begin to extend the arms back out. So just bring a little energy into the arms. Then we're gonna take the next inhalation to bring the hips back up. We're gonna come back in to table. Adjust the hands so they're under the shoulders, are a little wider than the shoulders. Adjust the knees so they're underneath of the hips. Let's ground down into the right knee. Send the left leg back behind you with the toes curled under, left toes still connected to the mat. We'll do a few heel pulses here. So press through the left heel, reaching the heel toward the back short side of the mat, and then rock your heel forward. So as you do this motion, you want to continue to reach out long through the crown of the head. You're just feeling almost like the crown of the head is just like a light shining straight ahead while the gaze is down at the mat, looking at that space between the two hands, moving the gaze as you flow through the heel pulses. One or two more rounds. Okay, you're going to let your left knee come down to meet the mat. Switch sides, ground into the left knee. Send your right leg back behind you, toes curled under. Press the heel toward the back short side, and then rock forward. Just a couple more times on this side. All right, last time. As the right heel rocks forward, land the right knee onto the mat. So we're going to take the knees just maybe an inch or two wider. You're going to ground into your right hand. We're going to start to reach the left arm out to the side, or it can stretch up to the sky. So just work with what feels the best in your body. And as you exhale, you're going to dive this left arm down between the right hand and the right knee. You're just going to come in to thread the needle. We're going to move dynamically before we take a longer hold. So as you take your next breath in, you're going to reach your left arm out to the side or stretch it up to the sky. And then as you exhale, you're going to dive that left hand between the right hand and knee. Come into the twist. One more time that way. Inhale, left fingertips stretch to the sky or out to the side. And then exhale, dive the left hand through the right hand and knee. Now we're going to take a moment here in the twist to hold and breathe, maybe 3-4 rounds of breath. Make sure that the left side of the face is supported by either resting the head on the mat or bringing another blanket under the head. Feeling the gentle compression in the abdominal organs as you twist, the openness around the left shoulder blade. Take your last exhalation here. Grounding into your right hand, breathe in, take your left hand, open it up one more time out to the side or up to the sky. And then as you exhale, let your left hand come down. You can walk your knees for a second right underneath of your hip points. Breathe in to drop the belly down to the mat. Lift up through the heart and the chin, so just opening through the front of the body. Exhale, activate your hands and round through your spine. One more time, breathe in, release the belly and lift up through the heart. And exhale, press your hands and round through the spine. Inhale, come back to neutral. So take your knees again 1 to 2 inches wider. You're going to breathe in. This right arm is going to sweep out to the right or stretch the arm up to the sky. And then as you exhale, the right hand is going to start to thread through the left hand and left knee, taking the spinal twist. Next inhalation, that right arm is going to reopen to the right side of the room or up to the sky. And then exhale as you dive the right arm between the left hand and knee. Take the twist. Inhale, open the right arm to the side or to the sky. And exhale, thread the needle. Now this time we'll take our longer holds. You'll take your twist. Right side of the face connected to either the floor, supporting the head with another blanket. Notice the compression in the abdominal region. Feel the opening around the right shoulder blade. Last cycle of breath here. Ground into the left hand, and as you breathe in, one more time, open that right arm to the side or to the sky. Exhale, lower the right hand, slide the knees back underneath of the hips, cat-cow your spine. Take a breath in, release the belly and lift the heart. And exhale, activate the hands and round through the spine. Inhale, release the belly and lift the heart. And this time, just for a moment, we'll curl the toes and lift the knees into downward dog. Send the hips nice and high. Just give a little pedal out through your feet and your knees. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, lightly lower the knees back down to the table. Now, if you like, you could catch hold of your blocks. You can walk your blocks a little over to the right. So you can lean more into the right knee, right hand. So you can step that left foot forward. You're going to flow through some low lunge and half splits. You can keep your hands and blocks to the inside of the left foot or frame the left foot. There in the low lunge, you're going to take your breath in. And then as you begin your exhale, you start to move your hips back, rock onto your left heel. You'll come to half split. I usually like to keep a bit of a bend in the left knee. Feel the pelvis gently tilt forward as you lean the body over the left leg. And then take your next inhalation, rock the pelvis forward again. You'll come back into low lunge. Lengthen the tailbone down. Notice the opening across the right hip and down through the quadriceps. Breathe in, rock the pelvis back. Just coming onto the left heel, half split. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, rock the hips back, split. And one more time. Take a breath in, rock the hips forward into low lunge. Exhale as you move your hips back. Come into half split. Let's hold in the half split for an extra round or two of breath. So feel a soft or maybe even deep bend in your left knee. The pelvis has a very gentle tilt forward while remaining engaged through the low belly. So the low belly scoops in a bit toward the front line of the spine. You just feel like you're bowing forward over the left leg. All right, last exhalation. Okay, breathe in. Plant that left foot down for a second. Move the block that's under the left hand out to the left heel toe, your left foot to the left. Turn the left toes open. Slide the left hand up to the thigh and just take a open twist. Breathe in and out here. All right, let's bring the left foot back to the center. You can bring the hands to the inside of the left foot and lean to the right hand, right knee. Step the left foot back. Walk the blocks to the left, lean to the left hand and knee, step the right foot forward. So remember, you can always do this flow with your hands to the inside of your right foot. Otherwise, if it feels okay in your body, you can frame the right foot. Take a nice slow inhalation with the body in the low lunge. And then as you exhale, you can begin to rock your pelvis up and back, come into half split. So you can have a just a bit of a bend in the right knee as those hips move back. Then as you take your next breath in, plant the right foot once again. Lean the hips forward into low lunge. And exhale, rock the hips back. Half split. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half split. One more time. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half split. Now we'll hold for an extra breath or two in the half split. So soft or deep bend in the right knee, depending on the back of the right leg. Roll the hips slightly forward and then feel your low belly scoop and engage inward toward the front of the spine as you soften the torso toward the front right leg. Okay, take a breath in and out. Okay, breathe in, plant that right foot back down. You can move the block under the right hand a bit out to the right. Heel toe the right foot to the right, even turning the right toes open a bit to the right as the right hand comes to the thigh. Press the hand to the thigh and just feel a bit of a twist. Last exhalation. And I'll bring that right foot back in a bit to the midline, blocks or hands to the inside of the right foot, lean to the left and step the right foot back. So one more time, we'll take a downward dog. So ground into the hands, spread the fingers, curl the toes, and just feel the knees lift up so the sitting bones reaching nice and high. Take a breath in, maybe a soft sigh out. Okay, last breath in. As you exhale, you can take your knees down. We can swing the legs around in front of the body. So you can fold your blanket up a time or two and sit on the edge of that blanket. So you might even have the bolster nearby. We're just going to do a lean forward over the legs. Now you can do this without the bolster. You could even take your strap along the balls of the feet, holding onto the strap and just leaning the body forward. Another alternative is to put the short edge of the bolster near the belly and just kind of lean the torso over. I like to prop my elbows and rest my forehead into my hands. Just relax through your eyes. At a certain time, it might feel good to stack your forearms and lean your forehead into the forearms. Forward folds, as a general category of poses, are excellent poses to do at the end of the day. They're very calming for the nervous system. The action of the forward fold draws us more inward. I'll take another few moments. Okay, take your last cycle or two of breath here. Last exhalation. And then begin to slowly bring the body back up so that your shoulders back over your hips. Feel your shoulders relax and settle down the back. Chin is just ever so slightly tipped, so it's just slightly below being parallel to the earth. And then as you're ready, we'll take a moment to adjust and prepare for our last pose of the practice. So one option is to come into Shavasana. That could be your final pose. You could set up with no props or a blanket or bolster under the knees. Another pose I'll offer is the supported bound angle, possibly with a strap. So you can take, I usually like one block mid height, that's where your head will be going, one block lowest height. Then you just prop the bolster on top. Now, I'm going to end up using this blanket over my body, but you can keep that low blanket underneath of the hips. We're going to be taking the spine over the bolster and possibly bringing the feet together in the bound angle. So one option is to create almost like a little holder for the legs. So you take the strap around the low back, and then you bring the sides of the strap to the inside of the legs. Now this is going to end up wrapping around the soles of your feet. And so then you'll have to attach or connect the straps. You go through both rings, if you have the 2D rings, and then release the ring that's closest to the tail, threading the tail back through the other ring. So you want to tighten a bit, but it's usually hard to know if it's 100% correct until you lie back. You may have to sit up a time or two to adjust. So pelvis is on the mat or the blanket. And when you lean back, you want the strap to feel like it's holding you. You don't want it too tight or too loose. You're looking for that just right zone, the Goldilocks zone. And as you find that, you can then lie back over the bolster and take your blanket over your body if you like. So also, if you come to lie with the head on the bolster and you feel that the chin is jutting really high up, you would benefit from a blanket under the head to help bring the chin slightly down. Okay, so just adjust as you need. And just remember, Shavasana is another alternative for this pose. So if this pose doesn't feel like it's working well for your body, then move into Shavasana or legs up the wall. Just choose something where you feel like you can let the body sink and settle allowing the day to melt away. While we're holding in this pose, please feel free to adjust as needed, to shift positions entirely. Whatever you need to do in order to take the best care of your body in this moment is perfect. As you breathe out, you might be able to feel almost the sensation of like decompressing, the nervous system settling. And as the nervous system settles, the body feels a greater sense of relaxation. The mind feels a greater sense of peace. Taking the last few cycles of breath in whatever pose you've chosen to take. After this next exhalation, if you are in that bound angle, you might be able to just slide your heels a little closer into the buttocks so that way you can, as gracefully as you can, take off the strap from the outer feet. Just let the strap fall down into the belly as you extend your legs momentarily. And from there, as you're ready, you can bend your knees one at a time. You're going to let your feet come flat to the floor. We're going to start to shift the hips a little over so that you can roll onto one side of the body and you'll still be supported by the bolster if you were laying on it. From here, you can press your hands down and begin to rise up to a cross leg shape. Let your hands come together at your heart in prayer as you sit tall. The light within me sees and bows to that same light that exists within you. Thank you.